Hello and welcome to a VO's Journey podcast. My name is Anthony Pica, and this one right here, is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business, sidestep all the crazy things that I seem to step on. Today is episode number 227, I think so, and I'm excited to talk to you about a couple of different things. One, we're going to talk about LinkedIn. They just came out, they just made their services live, and their new LinkedIn services has gone live, even though they don't have anywhere for voice actors. Bums. That's okay. But, it's not okay, but I said it's okay just for the podcast. And the second thing I want to talk to you about is some voice acting tips that I think is really going to help you become a better voice actor, things that we don't or things that we're overdoing sometimes. And I want to talk to you about how to do a better delivery. Okay, let's do it.
This is VO's Journey. With your host, the incomparable Anthony Pica.
Right, it is awesome sauce to be coming back to you in episode 227. It is wild. I had someone the other day, was it yesterday or the day before, say, they messaged me, said, I got through all 226 episodes. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. That's a lot of episodes. If you think about it, I mean, it's crazy, it's always, and I always say, I know I say that every single time, but I mean, it is really cool, that I think it's cool that you guys are still listening to the podcast. So thank you. Thank you so much for that. But let's talk about, enough of that. Let's get into the first topic here, and that is LinkedIn. So I did a video today, a YouTube video on the LinkedIn services, and that they have kicked it live. And, it's definitely very interesting. I think somebody commented on the YouTube video about it being a half-hearted attempt. And I have to say, I'm a very positive guy, as you guys probably know, but I don't know. I agree with that person. I mean, it kind of feels like a half-hearted attempt. I don't want to downplay, that them starting the service, and maybe this is kind of like a soft launch and they're going to add lots more. But, I think coming from a place about, Upwork and Fiverr and People Per Hour and these sites that, freelance, all these sites that have really carved out an entire ecosystem, right, around the gig economy with the power of Microsoft and everything behind LinkedIn, you'd think that they would have come out with something that was a lot more, I don't know, just better. So basically right now, what it is it's a services page. You go to this page and you type in something that you want, like email marketing. And then it basically brings up, like, I think when I looked at it, it was like 84,000 people that put down, like, one of the services they offer is email marketing. And then at that point, literally, it is you send them a message or you go through asking just that they send you a proposal. But here's the thing. That's basically it. LinkedIn does nothing else. There's no like offer place. There's no place to pay like through the platform. There's no section. Now, they do have a little page, but all the page is, like, when you click on somebody, it takes you to their services page. But here's the thing. The services page literally is your about section, your name, and then just the tags of the services you offer. That's it. Literally, that's it. There's nothing else. I think this will, and I was saying this in the video, I do think this will change the way a lot of people build their about section, right? Because, for example, there's no price, there's nothing, like, there's no structure in it whatsoever. So yeah, I think the person had said it was like a half-hearted attempt. I agree with them. I think it really is a half-hearted attempt, especially, I guess I expected just a lot more. But at the same time, it is started. However, the worst part for me or for us is that they don't even include voice actors. Again, there's lots of services I'm sure that weren't included, but there's a whole marketing section, and to not include voice actors, I mean, not like we're the center of the universe, dagnabbit. Who doesn't know that? Well, you know what I mean? I know we feel that way because this is the lives we live, but it is very interesting, right? Because even on Fiverr, okay, which you arguably, they are the largest gig economy, service provider right now. VoiceOver is not the number one sales, but it's like number 9. So if you think about that, right? I mean, it's like 8 or 9 in the top. So it's in the top 10 services out of the entire platform. So why LinkedIn didn't include voice actors or voiceovers as part of the marketing baffles me. It could be that they just don't have anybody, or it's something that they just didn't even think about, or whatever. That's okay. But it just seems like it wasn't very thought out, or they thought they really don't, or it's almost like they really don't want to do it, but they feel like they have to do something. I don't know. You know what I mean? But it could have definitely been better. So I'm not very happy with that. And also I was talking to some more people, and they were saying that, if you're not a premium member, you can't use all of it the same way. And, it's so there, it's just a lot of weirdness about it. And I know they were in the beta testing since February of this year. And I know now it's live, but it just did not impress me. I was excited about it until I really found out, when I dove into it and saw the usability and the fact that I can't even use it. I mean, because, voice actors, we can't even use it because it's not for voice actors. And on top of that, if we were using it, there, is very, I mean, it is giving an opportunity for more people to see you. So there's always that. But like I said, I think they've got a long way to go before it becomes anything that's going to help at least voice actors. Okay. So anyways, that's just something that, I was very saddened by. But anyways, it is live, so you can go check it out. If you go, I think if you click on those little work, like the work tab in the upper right-hand corner ribbon on the homepage, it's got that like 9 dots, you know what I mean? And you click on that. One of them is like LinkedIn services. You click on that, and that pulls up the services page. And any services that you automatically put down, like as tags, you show up for those services. So again, that's another thing too, right? Because you might have put, like for me, I put tags down because they didn't have voiceover, but it was more like the tags were about what kind of voiceover work I do, right? But in this particular ones, no, they mean like if you put down, like, for example, that you do social media marketing, that's exactly what that service is, social media marketing, not that I do voiceovers for social media marketing. So like, I think that's something that, you're also going to have to take in consideration, so I got to go in there and make sure people aren't sending me proposals to do social media marketing for them. You know what I mean? But at the same time, if you're a blog writer, or you've got other skills that do, I think they said they have about 250 services. Again, it baffles me that they didn't put voiceover in there. But, it's a high earning service online. It is. But, it is what it is. So anyways, I just wanted to talk briefly about that. And, speaking about doing too much or not doing enough, I wanted to talk to you the second part of today's podcast about voice acting. And I got an email from a voice actor, and they sent me a video that they had done. They'd been hired by a client, and they were just sending it to me to check out, and they're proud of it, and they did a really good job. And, it just reminded me of a lot of the work that I've done in the past, that when I went to perform as a voice actor, I was always feeling that I had to do way more than I had to do. Does that make sense? Like, a lot of times when we go to do a voiceover, we think that, the words are given to us and we've got to make these words shine. Like, they've got to be super amazing. Like, we got to make them sound, we're being paid for this, so daggone it, we got to perform our little patooties off, right? Like, that's how I always felt. So like, a lot of times when I would do voiceovers, and most of the voiceovers we do, right, it's the video narration, I would always listen back to it, and they were so intense, or it was like over the top. Like, I was always acting so much or doing so much to it that it always had some weird, I don't know, I wouldn't say weird, but it just didn't sound natural, right? It didn't sound normal. It sounded like I was taking away people's ability to just pay attention to the video and what I was saying as opposed to how I was saying it. Do you know what I'm saying? So what happened is that, I realized as I listened back to myself and as I started listening to other people and knowing those people, how simply the way you deliver your voiceover, especially in video narration circumstances, which again is the most work of what we do, really makes a difference in the fact that a lot of us are doing too much. I mean, we're overdoing it. We think that we've got to do so much performing, but we don't. So here's something that I try to always do. I don't want to perform my voiceovers like I don't care. All right. Or like it's really dull and I sound like I'm ready to go to bed. I don't want to perform like that. But at the same time, I don't want to perform to the point where it's like everything is so serious. You know what I mean? Like everything's just overdone. So I do my very best to plant in my mind this idea of, matter of fact. You know what I mean? Like I'm stating a fact. I'm stating something that is like I'm completely confident about. I'm not, there's no question in my mind that the information that I'm giving you is absolutely true. It's accurate. I believe it. Sometimes I've even used the idea, perform like if you're promoting a product, like you bought the product, you own the product, you love the product, and now you're just telling everybody about the product, right? You know what I mean? Like you got to come from a place of, I don't need to sell you. I'm just going to tell you. So that's where that phrase comes from, right? Tell, don't sell. Tell me, don't sell me. Because when we go to sell something, it's too much. So I was listening to the voice actor's video, and I thought, he did a really good job of just telling me about what I was seeing instead of performing this, monologue of, just amazing voice actingness. That's a new word. I just made it up. Voice actingness. Okay. But, and because of that, it gave me a feeling of I could actually watch the video. I could actually, see what he was saying or see what was going on and not feel weird about the voice or the message. And I know him very well, right? And he has been a student of mine. So it was kind of one of those situations where I was like, oh, I was very happy with it. And it did make me think again, because there was one or two parts where I think he lost some of that ability to keep, that just matter of fact opinion, hey, this is what you're seeing. This is what's going. It's really quite incredible, actually. And you're going to really enjoy it. You know what I mean? But for the most part, he did an amazing job. And it just made me think about all the times that I've screwed up with that. So when you're looking at your voice acting and you have a script in front of you, I think it's really important to take just a brief moment and plant ideas into your mind that help you, right? Keep those ideas in the forefront, like matter of fact. Even if you don't even know how that matter of fact style, if you will, is going to come out of you, plant the idea in your mind so that it's going to manifest itself through your delivery. And you can sometimes maybe deliver once or twice more. Or when you start out, I always recommend someone, if you're trying to find something, right? Like you're trying to find a style or a feeling, take the first sentence or the first couple of words and repeat them over and over again in a different way. You know what I mean? So, like let's say, today at Joe's barbecue, we've got a great deal. So let's say I've got those words. So I could be like, today at Joe's barbecue, we got a great deal. Today at Joe's barbecue, we've got a great deal. Today at Joe's barbecue, we got a great deal. Today at Joe's barbecue, we got a great deal for you. Like I would go through that until I got the feeling, until I heard what it is I was trying to find. I think a lot of times, that saying that we don't like to listen to ourselves. I think the reality is we don't have a problem listening to ourselves. We have a problem liking the way we are taught, like the way we are talking or the way we are delivering a message. I think that's something that I've come to realize. I don't like when I hear myself saying something, I'm like, God, I don't like the way I said it. Not the sound of my voice. It's how I'm saying it, which means that, I don't always have to go about, doing something to where I don't practice a few times. And a great way is that lead in idea I just gave you, especially if you're trying to get something specific. You know what I mean? And you're struggling getting it. A good way to do it is just like I said, start out with a couple of the words in the beginning and say it a couple of times in different ways. Write down or plan in your mind how you want it to come out and keep saying it until you feel like you've got it. And then once you've got it, keep going. Yes, hit the record button. You just have to delete those first recording, those first things you did. But once you get that feeling, go for it and keep going and keep recording. You'll find that it will carry on throughout the piece. And it's a great way to do it, I think. It's helped me a lot. And it's also allowed me to create, like to instill in my mind specific styles. You know what I mean? So that's just another great tool that you can use. And also, it also helps you be comfortable, because at the heart of all of this, it's about you being comfortable with what you're saying and how you're saying it. But more importantly, the fact that you are delivering a line. I mean, in the end, we have to take words, right, and ideas that we have no idea who wrote them or what their purpose behind all this is, other than what we have right in front of us. And we have to act like we are 150% in it to win it. You know what I mean? We love it. We've bought it. We've purchased it. We own it. We want to share it. We want to tell everybody about it, or, in a variety of different formats of that belief. We have to be able to share something. Even if we're doing a video where we're just like a explainer video or e-learning, we still need to do it in a manner, even more so, I think, with explainer and e-learning, that we have to say things in the fact that we're not going to overdo it to where people feel like, God, this is just too much. I need a break. Right? Because remember, people have to be able to listen. And we call it the suspension of disbelief, right? Meaning, like, you don't want to perform that and then rip people out of the idea because they're thinking about, boy, why did that person say it like that? Or what is going on with the way they're speaking? We don't want people to think that, right? We want people to be in the story, to be in what we're trying to say. And make no mistake, e-learning, explainer, nonfiction, it doesn't matter what the story is. There's always a story being told. Some stories are more subtle than others, all right? Some are more in your face. Some are a little bit harder to figure out. But there's always a story being told, or a story being told by the feeling. And the way you say it matters. Okay, so that's why it's really important for you to be comfortable and make that acting decision, and using that lead in will help you, as well as really taking a step back in a moment, placing the idea in your head, like I said, and pushing forward and trying to find that feeling you're going for. And once you find it, ride it all the way to the end. All right, look, I wanted to I had that on my mind. I wanted to talk to you guys about it because I see so many of us are trying so hard to be successful in voiceover. And when we go to do our voice acting, we feel kind of lost sometimes. And I think a big reason for that is because we think we have to do so much. I call it, as you guys have heard, I call it that mile of crap between your mouth and the microphone. That's the idea that there's all this junk when you step in front of your microphone, right? And you start talking, all of a sudden something happens and, we are talking like this, and then when you're done, you're like, gosh, I don't know if that was any good. Like, you go back to who you normally are, you know what I mean? And there is a happy medium. Sometimes you are that big, crazy announcer. And then sometimes you're just, shooting the breeze, like, we're doing right here in the podcast. So there is a happy medium also in between. And the more that you practice and the more you plant those ideas in your head, the more you are going to be aware of it. And the more you are aware of it, the more you can call upon it when you want to. And that's when you really become the voice actor that you want to be. When you can call upon styles, when you can call upon ideas and deliver them based off of what someone is wanting you to do. Almost like your styles and your deliveries become specific products that you offer. All right. Hey, you guys, thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. And, check out LinkedIn, just at least keep yourself apprised of what's going on, because at any time they could offer voiceover services. Maybe they'll listen, because a VO's Journey podcast is so amazing, they'll listen to it and be like, boy, we don't have anything for voice actors. Yeah, only in our dreams, right? But hopefully they'll get something up for voice actors, and, we'll be able to get some more exposure there, and they'll fix, or just add some more stuff. So it's not just kind of, the Wild West on there, but, it is a start, and it is another place for us to get exposure. So definitely check it out, and definitely, don't be afraid to deliver something comfortably and relax, and, put that idea in your mind and go for it. You don't have to be over the top. You don't have to perform. And I always plant this idea in my mind, and that's where it's tell, don't sell. Tell me, don't sell me. It's a great idea to plant in your mind, and you'll find that it will transform yourself. I got so exhausted of overperforming when I was doing it, because I didn't know how not to when I first started. It's like I just did it. It became a habit. So I had to really break that idea of overperforming. And you can too, if that's, what you're going through. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening. As always, make sure you check out a VO's Journey Elite Academy. There'll be a link below for that. And I hope to talk to you soon. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye. Goodbye.